everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Christine, and as you can hear, I'm sick. Part of the reason I didn't make the video yesterday, but we're gonna deal with it today. Yeah, my daughter had it. I think she got it from work, and so she had it for 2 days. My son is kind of feeling it a little bit, not as bad as she did though, and I've had it since Thursday, and it's Tuesday now. But, yeah. So anyways, and if you can hear the kids screaming outside, my neighbor homeschools, and she's got 4 boys. And, well, one of them's in school, because he's in high school. The other 3 range from 9 to 4, because we moved in and he was 6 months old, so he's 4. So, they like to scream and play. Sorry. So, I'm going to do my weekly wrap-up. I've been thinking about starting to do vlogs, but I'm not sure how that is going to go. My life is pretty boring. So, anyways, we'll see. But the first book I finished was Anne Gracie's The Spring Bride, and it's book 3 in the Chance Sisters romance, and it is Jane's book. I don't know if I ended up giving it a 3 or a 4, but I didn't like her as much in this book as I did in the first 2 books. She was, I wouldn't say she's a gold digger, but she wants to marry up because because of the backstory that you find out in the book 1 and it continues in book 2. They've let her and her sister, sorry, her and her real sister, and I wouldn't say adopted 2 sisters, but they think of each other as sisters. And but her and her real sister grew up without parents. I think they died when, yeah, they did. But here's part of the, they died when Jane was 6, and I think Abby was 12. But in here, there's a major mistake. And it's right in the beginning of the book. And I'm not going to really say much. Sorry, tickle. It starts out in their past in 1870. No. It goes back. Oh, the prologue. That's what it was. Okay. It starts off in London in 1805. And it's before Jane turns 6. So her mother's alive. Her parents are both alive still. And then it goes back here to London 1804, and she's already 6. I think they might have meant 1806. But that's a big typo. So anyways, because they had a rough upbringing and childhood, she wants to marry up regardless if she loves the man or not. She figures that any marriage she makes, she can learn to love the guy. So before she even has her season, her come out season, because of a beneficial adopted aunt, this man catches her, or not catches her, but asks for her hand in marriage, and she says yes because he's got money. And everybody's like, why him? Like, he's a collector of beautiful things. He just wants you for his collection. He doesn't give a 2 cares for you. He just wants you to show off. And as you go in the book, you really see it. But she kept saying, even though she falls in love with somebody else, she keeps saying, I can't marry you because you're nothing, which it's explained he's not. Whereas the man I'm engaged to, he's got money, so I'm going to marry him. And it's such a bad attitude, and it just, I have strong feelings of this because I've been accused of being a gold digger, and I'm the furthest thing from a gold digger you can get. So, yeah, I didn't really like her that much in this, but the story itself was good. So, I have, the last book is The Spring Bride, and I have it sitting, I can't see my shelf, but I have it sitting over there. So the second book I finished, and this is my first book by this author. My daughter had to read this book in her grade 10 English class, and she loves it. And she's into poetry now. She's not into really reading, but she loved the two books that she had to read for school. She loves. The first book she had to read was To Kill a Mockingbird, and that was in grade 9. And this book she had to read last year in grade 10. So my grandmother, this was like her favorite author too. So I figured I'd try this one. I know she's a prolific author. So I tried this one and loved it. I gave it a 5. But I didn't want to start a series right now. I have too many series on the go. Not that I won't start another one anyways, but, and and then there were none by Agatha Christie. Loved it. I did not see the answer at all coming. Nothing. Didn't figure out anything. I kept reading and wanted to know how 10 people on an island could be left to 0. It was a very interesting ending. But in case you didn't know, if you've ever watched, this is another book, if you've ever watched the movie Clue with Tim Curry, it's kind of the same deal. 10 people are invited to this island. It doesn't really tell you how they get invited. Like how the guy knows about them. I don't remember that part. Anyways, he invites these 10 people. Oh, that's right too. Sickness does not do me good. So he invites these people, he finds out different things about them, invites them to this island, and he invites them in such a way that they think their friends, long lost friends that they haven't seen, have invited them. And then it starts off with one guy having a drink of whiskey or something and dropping dead, and it goes on from there. So yeah, some of the characters you don't like, some of the characters, you know, they're there. Some of them you just want to slap silly. But it is what it is. So yeah, I gave this a 5. One of my top books. And then I finished I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, and it's another first book by this author. Wow. Did I give this a 5 or a 4? I really should have this on the screen, but anyways. Sorry. This is about a girl who's an accident happens, and she goes and runs and hides. Wow, words today. She leaves the city and goes to another city to try and be by herself and doesn't want anything to do with anybody else. And it's because of a boy that dies. Well, it says her son. Like I said, words are not happening today. And she doesn't want to forget the accident. Well, in a way she does. But it's told in 2 different parts. The first part is from the accident, until about a year later. Yeah, about a year later. And then the second part goes into her past and up to the accident, and then after she's found. There's pebbles. So yeah, I went into this not really knowing much at all, and the back is kind of vague as well. The one thing I'm going to say though, the first part is, you know, you're wondering exactly what happened, like what led to what happened and why she's so afraid, because for some parts I kept thinking, did I miss something? Like, what is going on here? Like, yeah, there's a couple of parts like that you don't quite understand what's going on, because something had happened in between the accident and her leaving, because she left about a week after the accident. And it's just, I was left sitting there going, did I miss something? Like, is there a chapter missing out of this book? Like, and no, it gets explained in the second part, so stick with it. And I will say that her ex-husband is a piece of work. If you ever have a relationship like that, run. Do not walk in the other direction. The guy's a piece of work. And the ending, wow. Yeah, it kind of leaves it open-ended, so there might be a sequel, might not. It's kind of up to you to decide which ending you kind of want to have happen. So yeah, it was a really good book. And currently reading. I was hoping to finish this today because it was due at the library, but I was able to renew it. And it's quite cute. It is a cozy mystery, and it's by Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown, and Sneaky Pie Brown is her cat. And if you read the story, you'll kind of understand. But it's Wish You Were Here, and it's the first in a Mrs. Murphy mystery, and the cat in the story is Mrs. Murphy, and there is a corgi dog, and I think they're so cute, named T. Tucker. Oh, why? Oh, well, I'll just get that in a bit. It's daughter. So, anyways, try and make this quick. She's gonna keep calling me. This is about a woman who's a postmistress who has these two cats, or a cat and a dog, and she's in the process of a divorce. And it's a very small town, and there are the rich elite, and there are the not so rich elite, or not so rich. And everybody's picking sides in this divorce. So one day, a man gets murdered. Told you. Come on. There we go. Now she'll stop. So anyways, a man gets killed. He owns a construction company, Concrete Lane, and he is found in pieces in his cement truck. And it kind of goes on from there. And there's postcards that give, be given. And so the postmistress has figured out about these postcards, and she's trying to figure out what's going on. And the cat and the dog, love them. When they speak and they try and say, why can't the humans understand us? And every time they speak, it's in italics. But this book has, now I can't find a good one. Oh, there we go. Illustrations throughout of Mrs. Murphy and T. Tucker. The only thing is, some of the names are kind of wacky. One of the girls' names, well, actually, the woman of the husband that died, the guy that died, her name is Boom Boom. The postmistress's name is Mary Minor Harristine, and everybody calls her Harry. Her husband's name is Pharamond, so they call him Fair. So yeah, after you get over the first couple of chapters of these new names and wacky names, and figure out who everybody is, because there's also other animals in here, it's easy to read. But so far I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving it. So yeah, definitely keeping on with this series. So what am I going to be reading this week? Well, I have a huge big order that my regular big order. Plus I have my small orders, and then I have testing, which I have to do right after this video if my daughter does not want anything. So what I'm going to try and read this week is Wound Up in Murder by Betty Hetchman, and it is book 3 in the Yarn Retreat mystery. I read the other 2 a couple months ago. Yeah. So it's about a woman who inherits a yarn retreat business from her aunt who dies, and she has them over in a hotel that's across the street. And people end up dying, and she ends up figuring out, and the cops don't like it. So there's that one. I was going to read this for the Triple RC a couple months ago, but I'm still interested in it. And I don't know if it's a duology, a series, I'm not sure. But it's a sci-fi dystopian, maybe? No, definitely futuristic, anyways. Starcross by Phoebe North. And I'm thinking it's just a duology. Don't quote me on that. So, anyways, it's about her living on it's a city within a ship that left Earth 500 years ago, so it's way futuristic. In search of refuge. At 16, working a boring job and living with a grieving father who only notices her enough to yell, Tara is sure that there has to be more to life excuse me, than what she's got. But when she inadvertently witnesses the captain's guard murdering an innocent man, Tara is suddenly thrust into the dark world beneath the Ashura's idyllic surface. I'm not going to read any more. That's just what it's about. And I think me and my daughter both got this book. It just seems cute. But it's on the back, it says 36% Las Vegas mystery, 49% unstoppable crush, 15% fashion emergency, 100% the cat's fault. It is a young adult book, and it has, I'll show you in a sec, but it's called Bad Kitty by, I don't even know what the first name is, Michelle Jaffe. You can't even see you can see a little bit of glitter, but she's into forensics and she goes to Las Vegas on a family vacation and somebody dies, something like that. But a lot of it has a lot of postscripts, but they're like comical stuff. So yeah, and she's with her best friend, if I'm not mistaken. All Jasmine really wants is to enjoy her family vacation in Las Vegas and avoid her evil cousin Allison and Allison's best friend Veronique, and show her suspicious dad that she can be a model daughter and maybe meet the hot guy she's been eyeing from across the pool. Is that too much to ask? Apparently, yes. One moment she's an innocent bi lounger, the next the central figure in a Las Vegas-sized mystery. So, those are what might be what I pick up this week. So I think that might be it. If I do end up vlogging, my wrap-ups will be in the vlogs. So I will wrap up each book as I read them, and then I won't do a weekly wrap-up. I'll do a weekly vlog. But it's the time that it takes me to edit that might be what stops me from doing it. We'll see. Because, yeah, editing takes time, and so do these orders. So, we'll see. So, let me know if you've read any of those books, how you felt about it. Either way, what you're reading. And I will talk to you later. Bye.